Hey folks, disaster saves are back, and of course the suffering must continue. Some of you might recognize this particular save. This one was sent over to me by Alex the Rambler, and he had a couple of tries with it. I'll not describe it too much. I recommend you check out his video on this. He does a pretty good job explaining why this is terrible, but my job today is trying to fix this mess, and I don't know if I can. Let's go. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I cheated a little bit in that I had a couple of test runs with this, and I think I have a strategy that could make this work. First off, I want to tell you, whoever sent this in, what are you doing? Your western seaboard is completely protected, but somehow, you managed to get completely overrun from the south. Okay, with that out of my system, let's look at the situation. The situation is not good. Let's see, we have several army groups, all in horrible positions. Templates are pretty trash. Let's start by simplifying this a bit. We're gonna add a artillery piece if we ever manage to rebuild our losses. This division will do just fine for defensive purposes. It can defend, and that's really all we can expect today. Now I'm gonna make sure every single unit is that template. You got 8 cavalry units up in the high north. You don't need these guys here, but you wouldn't be amiss if you just made sure to guard your Norwegian ports. Norway has a lot of natural resources, and if we can hold on to Norway for the remainder of this campaign, we have a chance. Meanwhile, focuses look fine, but I don't recognize this focus. Oh man, I've always wanted to do this. This video is sponsored by Kamikoto Knives, and that was the most fun I've had doing sponsor segments ever. Seriously though, I love these knives. I enjoy cooking, and having a quality set of tools is a must. Kamikoto knives are made with high quality Japanese steel, and as you can see, they are sharp as heck. Now, they are made of a softer type of steel to prevent chipping, so make sure to regularly sharpen them. The knives come in a lovely heavy-duty ashwood box, which is a really nice touch, and it also makes a great gift with the holidays coming up. I know I had a good set of knives on my Christmas list, so I'm sorted. Used by Michelin star chefs all over the world, these knives are individually inspected and come with a lifetime guarantee. And if you want to cut and carve with the best of them, Kamikoto is actually running a massive Black Friday sale and is offering my viewers an extra $50 off any purchase with discount code BITTERSTEEL. Go to the link on screen or down below and go grab yours. I'll reorganize the Air Force in a bit. I need time to think first. We will need to make a fallback along the river lines. I want to hold on to Hanover, Magdeburg, this river here, and then along the front line, kind of sorta like this. I think we can hold this. I think if I can organize this defense in a reasonable fashion, might be able to hold here. Pull everybody back to more defensible ground. If we fall back behind river lines, we can actually maybe hold this. That leaves us with the Russian front, and that's the only thing you've really got going for you. You almost have the Russians capped. About 10% more and you have them capped. I wish you had another collaboration government, and you might be close to getting them, but you only have the one. It is what it is. We'll try to keep pushing. This front is actually something we can work with, so we'll make sure to delete the front lines. Sorry, your front lines are just horrible. I'm actually going to just delete all of your front lines and redo them. So we have this southern army group under Karl Eigelsee. Go there, and I'm gonna extricate one of your armies. God, you have so many armies, it gets confusing who's where. I'm gonna pull one of the armies away from the south, actually attach them to this army group, so we have more units to hold off Poland while we desperately try to capitulate the Germans. We have 5 army groups in the north, and coincidentally, the north is where the Soviet strength is still present. There's a whole lot of Soviet strength up north, and that's gonna be the hard part, I think. Making sure we can keep them from counterattacking. I think if we can take Leningrad and a couple of victory points in this area, we can still do it. Once the Soviets cap, we'll have something to work with. We'll need to use these guys to take Baku and whatever victory victory points the Soviets still have in this area. And then there's Guderian, who's for some reason commanding an infantry army. Guderian will need to hold on and try to keep the Turks from pushing out. That's going to be difficult. The name of the game for this campaign will be Encircle and Destroy. Your navy's terrible. Well, it's not necessarily terrible, but you went with carriers. Why are you a carrier player? The carriers are good, but not for Germany. You have so many bonuses to submarines. Please just use the submarines. I'm going to pull your entire navy back home. Everybody's gonna go back here towards Mecklenburg Harbor, and we're gonna reorganize. Same for the High Seas Fleet. Mecklenburg and reorganize. The Air Force as well. They need to be reorganized. Gonna put up a couple of 100 fighters and CAS per air zone on the Russian front, and everybody who's left is gonna be fighting defensively over Germany itself. I'm gonna be using whatever last stand memes I can, and hope to God I can buy enough time I don't die. And I know I said I wasn't going to delete these units because they have high experience. I'll be honest, I absolutely cannot be bothered manually setting up these air groups again. I'm gonna delete everyone. You can hate me for it later, and I'm gonna just set up new air wings this way. Just it's too much. This is so confusing. I'm very happy you have at least a decent air force. I'll need to check out your plane types though, because if I remember Alex's video, there was something stinky about your airplanes. All right, that is a Soviet front covered, and everybody else gets to be deployed in Berlin. Let's look at your construction. Brandenburg. Yeah, we're not going to build the Führer bunker there. That can go. The Rhineland. The Rhineland's gone. We're not going to build anything there. What we are going to be building is synthetic refineries, because we are going to need a fuck ton of oil to do whatever it is we're going to try to do. So refineries first, and then I'll fill up with military factories if we still have enough life in us. Production. Ooh, that is a lot of guns you're making. You're also short a lot of guns, so I can understand, but I'm gonna peel back a little bit. Same with trains, a little bit less. Basic mediums. It's 1944, and you're making basic medium tanks. I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer. I'm just going to delete them. I'm not going to use basic medium tanks. Improved light tanks. Ambitious, but no. Artillery's good. I won't be making anti-tank. Honestly, you don't need it. I will be setting up a production line for towed anti-air, assuming we can ever build any. If at first you don't succeed, try again. CAS, okay. Fighters, okay. Basic naval bombers, not now. Trucks, I will need trucks, so trucks will stay. They're pretty high priority, actually. Carrier airplanes. I know you have carriers. Do I want to waste factories on them? I honestly don't. It's just 2 factories though. I can peel back. Yeah, I'll leave these for now. Basic mediums, no. Submarines. You're making cruiser subs. What cruiser subs are you making? No, just no. If you're gonna play the submarine game, what you do is pick as many torpedoes as will fit your hull, the best engine you can get, and a snorkel. Not a radar, you pick a snorkel. You want to reduce the visibility of your submarines as much as humanly possible while making them pack the biggest punch you can fit in them. For logistics, turn off trucks. You have 400 and you need 4,000. You're getting bombed into oblivion, so turn off motorized supply. I know it's gonna make supplies suck, but you can't afford it. You just cannot afford it. And I think I accidentally found your armored core. This ain't it, Chief. This template's okay, but I think these are event spawn troops as well. Yeah, these are event spawn troops. All right. Guderian's armored core is going to be peeling back towards Riga, and I'll reorganize there. We are going to set up these boys on the old Soviet Stalin line and hope to God keep our butt cheeks clenched that we can actually hold it. Now, they've already pushed past Kiev. If you lose Kiev, it's gonna be hard, but we still have Dnipropetrovsk. So I'm gonna push down here, come down here, and hold that. Hopefully, this will be sufficient defense. These guys are super weak, though. Like, super weak. Well, I'm just gonna manually pull every unit back. And I'm gonna stop doing everything on camera because it's too much. Oh, right, research. Panzerschreck, good. Nuclear reactor, bad. Let's instead get better engines. Night vision, good. Advanced computing, a little late. Let's instead get... There we go. Improved infantry equipment. Improved light battery, wow. No. What you want to get, especially in this stage of the game, is every torpedo upgrade you can get and every submarine upgrade you can get. But we're, again, a little late to the party there. I'm thinking either go with anti-air upgrades or... There we go. Engineer upgrades. upgrades so we get more entrenchment. Entrenchment's probably the only thing that's going to save our bacon for the Reich. We can invite Spain to the faction. I don't think it's going to work. As soon as we unpause, they're going to say, nah. Garrison's high priority and then reinforcement. We're not training anybody else. I also just want to point out, I noticed this in your divisions. This is not a tank division. Now, I know this might be complicated, but some of you need to hear this. There is no such thing as a pure tank division. It doesn't exist. What you have is an armored core, these guys, with support units, either motorized or mechanized units. This is the infantry, this is the support units. These are the guys that fill in from the back. These are the guys that roll up to help, let's say, because a tank on its own is incredibly vulnerable. It needs support, and that support is delivered by infantry. Oh god, defensive lines already being broken. I need a little bit of time for those extra units to move. I'll just fall back to more defensible ground along here. The rivers and forests will be my ally. If I set up in the forest, I'm closer to my own supply lines. Okay, liberation of Paris has to be expected, so the German defensive line is sort of holding, I guess. Right, in about, what, a week's worth of game time, every single one of my Soviet spies have been captured except for Skorzeny. He's working on busting them out, but honestly, it's such a broken mechanic, and the only reason it's broken is because Paradox don't know how to code decimals. And in the south here, we've made good breakthroughs. Soviet divisions are super weak, like they're running out of equipment. And every one of these small encirclements I managed to pull off is just another bunch of divisions we can destroy. Every time the Soviets lose a division, the line gets thinner. The thinner the line is, the easier it will be for me to try and force my way through. Hopefully this actually pays off in the long run. we don't end up getting killed. Defensive line here is stable, actually. Like, they've sort of stopped attacking for now. I've been able to extract pretty much every division that I wanted to pull out, including the ones I borrowed from my Reichskommissariat, so I think we're good here. Alright, couple more Soviet divisions encircled. I know, these are not massive encirclements, but considering our situation, I'll take every damn win I can get. No, don't withdraw there, go there. Just go around the enemy, don't go through them. The allies have broken my defensive line in the homeland. I'm gonna peel it back even tighter, sit behind the major river around Hamburg. Soviet front, meanwhile, like, we're getting encirclement after encirclement. If we can just buy enough time for the Soviets to capitulate, I can then swing these two army groups back west, and start pushing against Poland or ship them over across the sea to defend the homeland. I just need the homeland to last a little bit longer. We're 9% away from capitulation, please. I could switch up modern blitzkrieg for desperate defense if it comes to it, because manpower is getting very tight. We've taken a lot of losses. But as long as I can keep shuffling these troops around and hitting the occasional individual last stand order, we'll still be fine, more or less, I guess. I know this is cheesy, but it's the only reason I've been able to maintain this defensive front for as long as I have. It's the only reason we're still not dead yet. If Estonia Cap still have several thousand guns for us, I hope. Let's try and use my armor to cut through there so we can encircle them around Narva. Armor, I say. I don't think these units qualify as armor. Yes, Estonia's capped! Oh my god, that's 16,000 guns. More, 20,000 guns for me. Oh dear lord, I missed this. Naval invasion, naval invasion. Alright, southern front, more or less secured. Crimea, more or less contained. Allied attacks have stopped. And I do spy a little bit of Soviet weakness around Leningrad. Like, these divisions are super weak. I'm gonna start pushing. I'm gonna start pushing with everything I've got. A little more encirclements here. A couple more. Like, these are small. I know. They're not very impressive. But at the end of the day, I don't need impressive encirclements. I just need fewer Soviet troops to be alive. If fewer Soviet troops are alive, I don't need to work as hard to kill whatever they have left. The additional units I pulled off the Soviet front have been able, in conjunction with just shortening this southern front, I have been able to push back the naval invasion to something manageable, I'd say. Oh, come on, boys, hold. Come on, take Leningrad. Leningrad, come on. Leningrad's taken. Is that enough? Is that... No! God, I need like one more victory point. Oh, Tickfin, but oh, they got troops there. They got troops there. There has to be something else I can take. I can't be that weak. Okay, just all out assault. All out assault. Anywhere I can take a victory point, I have to. Maybe if I can push up the Vipuri. Okay, now that we have retaken Kerch, I need to make sure I do something useful with these units. I am going to redistribute them along the front so they can actually, you know, hold. But I also need to make sure Sevastopol and Kerch are guarded. I also need to make sure Rostov is guarded. Novorossiysk. And I think that's it. Everything else is fine. So I'll leave enough troops behind to cover those ports. Everybody else can go to the main front where they're actually very much requested and needed. Defense. Oh God, I'm getting pushed again. Getting pushed again. Not good. Not good. We're crumbling. One more victory point, Soviets. One more victory point. Come on. Break. Break, Stalin. Break. What? Whoa. Lag spike. Yes! Yes! Oh my God, I beat the Soviets. In a perfect world, I would probably just take a lot of land, create my Reichskommissariats for fun and profit, but I don't think we can pull that off here. I'm gonna start puppeting things, probably gonna puppet all of the Baltics. Now I really would like to get some ships here as well, why not? And I would very, very much like to add some resource rights, but I am unable to click the button. Paradox? Why am I unable to click the button? Could you tell me what's going on here? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We have opportunities here to really hurt the enemy. You can tell now, for some reason, all of this that was under Allied control has flipped back to German Russia, and there's only a thin, very, very thin front line of Allied units here now. I'm going to rush this army through the gaps if they can manage, and I'm going to rush the army that is currently holding the front to attack. We have managed to break up this line. I've got an army pushing north, an army pushing south. Hopefully we'll be able to reduce these pockets a little bit. To the south, yeah, I gave up. There was no point. The Allies immediately linked up with Turkey. But here, if I can reduce the southern pocket, I can still rush troops in to take these defensive areas. Maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to hold on to what I have, keep my new puppets alive long enough for them to contribute to the war effort. And anyone who has soldiers is going to be donating them to me. We are destroying this pocket. The southern pocket is being contained. I'll redirect those troops to take, well, the eastern flank of Poland. To the north, it's a little, well, significantly more difficult, but we might still be able to do significant damage there. We've created several large pockets, and I am most proud of this one. Oh, that's so many divisions we'll destroy. Oh, I wish I could capture their equipment, but I don't think you've researched. You got maintenance companies, but it will be too late to get them in now. Please kill these guys. Come on. It's like 40 divisions there, another 30 down there. Oh man, just capitulating the Russians just really reinvigorated our defenses. The extra guns that funneled into our units, the extra units I've just freed up for the defense. We're getting some Lend-Lease now. That is very valuable. And just being able to set up a proper defensive line now against the very large Allied army will be great, and from there I can start rebuilding. I am reasonably confident that the yellow line will now hold indefinitely. We've got advanced fighters now. I like to go with engine 3. I very much like to use cannons. I'd love to get the better cannon, but we don't have it yet. Air-to-air radar is fine, I guess, if you're going to use it for interception. You could just skip it. It's good for your night penalty overall. Just go with radio navigation. Self-sealing fuel tanks. And then some armor plates. I could add more armor plates instead of the radios, but I'm thinking the night penalty might be beneficial in the long run, and I'm gonna add more cannons. I know that these are expensive, but they do a lot of air attack and might help us shoot down so many bombers. Yeah, I just wish I could mobilize more men. We're just about bumping into the limits of what we are able to do. All right, I'm gonna start a breakthrough. The tanks are going. Motorized following behind. Okay, I was expecting this to be successful. I wasn't expecting it to be stupid. Just gonna exploit every gap I can make. It's gonna be difficult enough as it is. Just gonna exploit every little gap. So that's a good section of their line cut off. I'm gonna push in as far as I can without overextending myself. God, I want to destroy these American divisions. These British divisions. There's just... Oh, it feels good. Put this one on the Reddit, boys. It's the same thing with most of these disaster saves. If you can survive the chaotic start and sort of... Yeah, Russia, you can do that. And sort of get your feet on the ground, you'll manage. Oh, Oh man, every one of these is just a significant chunk of the Allied armies made to disappear. Also, the higher quality of our fighter is starting to tell the difference. Of course, they have way more than we do, and I'm taking a lot of losses here, but we are shooting them down. We are starting to shoot down more of them than they are of us. Well, usually. My tank's going on another little field trip. I'll see how far I can get. I'm afraid most of this coastline is going to be super well guarded, but we'll see. Come on, come on, come on. One more tile, one more tile, one more tile. Come on. If I can get to the tile above Königsberg before they're able to reinforce it. Oh, come on. If I can get to that tile, I'll effectively have Courland cut off, and we have recreated the Kampfgruppe Courland. Yes! Oh, I love tanks. Anyone who says tanks are not worth it is an idiot. Look at what we did. Look at it. It's so stupid and glorious. You know what the best part is? All of those allied units are cut off. I have complete naval dominance in this region. Absolute domination of the Baltics, and there's nothing the allies can do about it. Now to aggressively close that, and the armor will serve for now just to keep the door open. That's it. You boys just keep the door open, and we'll see what we do later. Ha ha! Another section of the fatherland liberated. Oh. I appear to be out of trucks. And the Baltics are now free. September of 1945. I don't think anyone saw this coming. Okay, let's get Königsberg back. Also gonna work on jet engines because air is king, and if I can get better air, great. Ah, we've done it. We are once again in control of one continuous front line. It's stupid, it's long, but we have control of the front again. Oh my god. We can start liberating some cores. I'm thinking take out slices of Poland first and see from there. Like, these armor units are great. Fortunately, you had a lot of medium tanks built up. I've gone through like 2,000 of them already, and they're all garbage, but we are making some good ones now. I'm making Panthers. This is what I've started building. High speed, high armor, good hardness, good piercing, a decent tank. Well, considering it's 1945, I need something more than decent, but these boys will end up winning me the war long term. Go on, encircle and destroy, encircle and destroy. Move, 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 move. As long as the armor keeps moving, it's untouchable. And another pocket, another pocket. Honestly, armor is so stupid it should be illegal. Like, the things you can do once you've punched through an enemy line, AI doesn't have any answers to it. It's just, it sits there as you drive your armor around behind their lines every time. It's just so many casualties. I love it. Now, I've lost a fair number of troops as well, but because I'm mostly using my tanks and the AI has just stopped attacking me ever since I consolidated my front, the losses here are just completely lopsided. Okay, so far so good. Tanks are punching through. Infantry is filtering in behind. I'm launching diversionary attacks with other infantry units just to keep the enemy on their toes, and I am punching through to the places I want to go. If I can link up with the province next to Warsaw up there, that's all I really want. But I'm afraid I may be overreaching here. A bit too ambitious. So yeah, it turns out my grand encirclement was in fact a bit too ambitious, but I can settle for something a little less grand. Equipment deficits are slowly but steadily disappearing as I'm concentrating my attacks using my armor, and the AI has completely stopped attacking. I think the allies have, yeah, they're still trying to naval invade, but like there's a bunch of units around here now. The AI has just completely stopped attacking. I have no idea what the hell they're doing, but I welcome it because that means I can keep picking them apart at my leisure. Soon I'll start retaking some actual German land and all will be well. I'll have manpower and equipment and factories and all that good stuff. I used my armor to smash a small gap through the south here. I'm going to make sure my army groups now extend for the full front as soon as I can punch through to the rest of the line, and we're gonna try and link up again. So we've got a couple more Axis members in the fight. I am running desperately out of manpower. It's October of 46. The game's slowing down. I don't think I'll actually be able to push the allies off the continent. They're too strong. They have too many divisions. But I want to see just how far I can push this. If I can start liberating some of my own territory, I'll be happy. I'll have some manpower. First, though, I am going to destroy these divisions here. Well, we've reached the point where I am out of manpower. The divisions are suffering, so I am already 200,000 men
and short in the field. Everyone is mobilized. It pains me, but I actually have to move to scraping the barrel until I've actually liberated some of my own cores. Once I take some of my cores, I'll have manpower again and I can ramp back down. For now, my economy must suffer. Maybe I can naval invade it on Wilhelmshaven and then make a break there, but I only have 6 mobile units and everyone else is really in no position to leave their front. Oh my god, I've made it to Prague. Never thought I'd actually get here. Have to make sure we take these 4 tiles before they're able to put strong units on there. So if I can just squeeze in before they are able to reinforce these tiles with an actual strong force. Oh, that's good. That is good. We'll be able to get the Sudetenland back at least. And with the Sudetenland comes manpower. Oh, yes. We've liberated a couple of cores. 1.4 million manpower. I'm actually going to demobilize. I'm going to go back to all adult serve as soon as I get some of my country back. It feels like there's not a whole lot of allied resistance around Weimar and Erfurt. I'm going to plunge my armor in. Oh my god, there's actually nothing here. I gotta make a land grab now. I have to make a land grab. I am pushing there and I hope I can make it. Gotta keep shuffling the line around because it's getting longer. Oh my god, the armor is just going. Oh, no, they've stopped going. Okay, so we've hit the edge of our supply. Okay, so apparently I turned off my recording. I'll quickly recap. I am now building modern tanks because obviously the time has come to really give them the old 1-2 punch. Heavy cannons, heavy armor, glorious speed, still good reliability. Not even that expensive. These babies are going to shred whatever the allies are putting out there. As soon as I have enough, I'll start switching over. And like the armor has been my saving grace this entire run. The rate at which they have killed time and time again, they've kept us going, and they're the only reason I'm able to strike back at all. So as a result, I have now managed to fully encircle the former front line. I can start pushing back. Allied lines are ridiculously thin. They must have taken significant casualties because France is down to 36 divisions, Mexico 45. The US is still massive, but everybody else has lost so many divisions. Other than the US, there is not a single major power with an army left. We have killed so many divisions with these encirclements. It's absurd. I'm now launching my counterattack, and yeah, this is wide open. They just don't have the units anymore. Just look at it. I am penetrating their line everywhere. They've got nothing. There's nothing left on this side. I've killed so many divisions. They just don't have anything left to fight me with. Oh my god. They're not even defending the ports. Look at the green bubbles. Sure, there's some red there, but... oh, yes. Yes. They're falling. They've fallen. They're dying. Everything's coming up, Millhouse. I'm gonna bring the entire yellow battle group down to Italy, and we're gonna overrun Italy and put Mussolini back in his seat. At least I think our friend here is Mussolini. Yay, Mussolini. I can't believe we've done this. I cannot believe we pulled this off. And Italy's gone. Well, Italy's back. Repubblica Sociale Italiana. Italian Socialist Republic. Hurrah! German armor thundering through Yugoslavia again. 4 years, 8 years later. And so falls Yugoslavia. What a wealth of equipment. Oh, yes. Oh, this is disgusting. Well, I don't think it's going to be much longer. So one army group, you deal with the Greeks, aggressively clean that up. Poland is just as, well, it's the last stain of Poland on the map here. And everything else is pretty much done for. I'll have my armor rampage in this region, and hopefully that can be the end of the Allied presence on the continent. Ah, there goes Turkey. Everything's under control, except for this last blob of Poland squatting on some Romanian land. I am moving all of my submarines in to deal with this. If I start convoy raiding here, these guys will all starve, and I can easily overrun them. The Greeks should be dying soon, but, you know, supply in this region has always and will always be a big problem. Maybe I can get some transports up. And Turkey has also capitulated. Hurrah! August 1948. 4 years of bloody campaigning, millions of casualties. but we've done it. Cost me millions of Germans, millions of Russians, Italians, pretty much everyone in our faction paid dearly for this, but all our friends are once again on the map. The Axis is in control of mainland Europe. We have a significant fleet, 146 vessels, and I can probably naval invade the UK with these if I'm clever about it. I'm pushing into North Africa and Arabia. We're done. I want to show you this because I think it's amazing. This man, General der Waffengattung Heinz Becker, commanding the 1. Panzerdivision, has literally every citation I could give him. Every citation I could give him, I have given that man. He has earned it. He is the embodiment of this campaign. That Panzer division did work, and pretty much our entire army is ready for some citations. The boys have earned it. If you would want to continue at this point, I don't know why, but if you would, what I would do is get rid of one army group. Just completely disband one of your army groups. You get the equipment, you get the manpower, and you can keep demobilizing down to something sensible like surface by requirement and extensive conscription. Focus on submarines and air. Heavily focus on air to defeat the UK and the US in the air and try to make a naval invasion of the UK happen. But yeah, this is it for me. I'm done. This has been the most exciting, the most teeth-gnashingly difficult disaster save I've done in a year, I think. And I want to thank you, Alex, for sending this to me. It was fun, painful but fun. I hope you guys enjoy these disaster saves. If you want to send in your own, you know where to do it. I'll leave the link down in the description, and I hope you love this next video. See ya.